Hey everyone, it's Marvin again, and welcome to part 4 of this pre-recorded demonstration series of the Reamaze platform on YouTube. And in this portion of the demo, we're going to actually talk about the fourth feature, the fourth core feature, which is the Reamaze FAQ. An FAQ, or sometimes people call it a knowledge base, is something every business should have, not only because it's great content for SEO, but it also allows customers to help themselves and save your team a lot of time and resources from having to answer or reply to commonly asked questions. The Reamaze FAQ is designed to work with every other Reamaze feature, ranging from the shared inbox to a Reamaze chat, and from Reamaze embeddables to Reamaze workflows. So we highly recommend building or rebuilding your FAQ in Reamaze to take advantage of all the synergies with the other Reamaze features. And another reason why thousands of businesses who use Reamaze prefer to use the Reamaze FAQ is because of its embeddability, or the ability to show the FAQ in a variety of places so customers can find important articles easily. The Reamaze FAQ can be hosted on a domain of your choice. It can be embedded in line with your website, your storefront, or your web app content. And it can also be added to your Reamaze chat experience as kind of a level 1 self-service support feature. And here's the best part. So Reamaze FAQ comes with every Reamaze account at no additional cost. So if you're planning to subscribe to our Plus plan, or with which is the one with multi-brand capability, that means each of your brands will also have access to a free FAQ that's built into Reamaze. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started and take a look at what it takes to build out a Reamaze FAQ. So right now we're on the Reamaze FAQ product landing page. If you have a few minutes, definitely take a quick browse through this and kind of learn about the nifty little features that we have for the Reamaze FAQ. But I'm just going to go ahead and dive right in, and I'm going to pop over here to the demo account. And to build out a Reamaze FAQ requires you to think about your FAQ strategy holistically. So how do you plan on showing off this FAQ to customers, and where do you want to show it off, and what kinds of content do you plan on having in the FAQ? Is it just going to be general questions? Is it going to be more in-depth, tutorial articles? Or is it just going to be kind of a mixture of both? Do you plan on having videos? Do you plan on having images or attachments or links to attachments? It requires you to think about your FAQ strategy. Okay, so before you actually go and create a bunch of articles, think about that, get together with your team and talk through what that looks like. Because for the shared inbox, you'll be able to insert FAQ articles in replies. For Reamaze chat, you can show off the FAQ mode first, which we'll talk about. You can self-host it on its own domain. You can embed it in line with your other site content. So there's a lot of ways to show off your FAQ. Okay, so it requires you to think about how you want that shown. To start creating FAQ articles, on the left-hand side here, there is a section called Articles, so go ahead and click on that. In this demo account, we already have a bunch that's already pre-created, but if it's empty, so we can actually take a look at an empty account here. I'm going to go to Articles again, and you'll see that this account has no articles, right? And the first thing you want to do is you want to create a topic. So topic is the highest level, I guess the main hierarchy of Reamaze FAQ. So there are topics, and then there are articles that belong to topics. And of course, topics belong to brands, right? Reamaze is multi-brand, so if you have 2 brands, you'll have 2 FAQs. If you have 3 brands, you'll have 3 FAQs, and there are articles or topics that live underneath each of those brands, and then there are articles that live under each of those topics. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is you want to create a new topic and give it a topic name. So we'll call this topic 1. We're going to create a topic, and then you can create an article for topic 1, right? You can give it a title. Right now, you can just set it to topic 1. There's the body content of the FAQ article. So Reamaze supports full HTML in Markdown for you to create your content. So it's super flexible. We don't support the hosting of images or videos right now. So for images, you'll have to upload them somewhere else. And for YouTube, you'll have to have them hosted somewhere on like YouTube or Vimeo or something like that. And you can bring those in via HTML or Markdown. You can also stuff keywords in here to make search really, really easy. There are also statuses that you can draft for the articles. You can set it to draft mode. You can set it to a published article. You can set it to internal only, so that your developers, when they're implementing the FAQ, they can actually hide it behind maybe a login or a staff login, so only internal people can actually read those articles. You can also set it to unlisted, so that it doesn't appear publicly on your FAQ, and only people with access to that specific URL can view that article. Right, and then you can also set the author. Okay, so that's all pretty straightforward, and you can create all of your articles and topics this way. So I'm going to pop over back to Daffy widgets. There are several other things that you can do in here. So you can view all the articles by specific brands. So if I click on Daffy Demo, I only see articles that belong to Daffy Demo. You can see the brand that it belongs to, the topic that it belongs to, and the status that it's in. You can also filter by published, internal, or unlisted articles. You can also browse by topics. So if I click on account questions, I'll get all the articles that are in this topic. Now up top, you'll see a sort articles button. You can click that and you can sort all of your articles however you want. And if you go back to topics, you can sort all of your topics however you want. Now by default, I'm going to actually go ahead and open up this demo accounts FAQ, which is daffydemo.reamaze.com. So that's going to be the self-hosted one. Again, you can change this domain to something that you own by using custom domains. Again, this is all customizable up top. You can change all of this. You can change the header, the fonts, the colors, the search style. You can also kind of stylize a lot of this. By default, it will display articles and topics in a left-right orientation. You can see that this article has 3 topics. This topic has 3 articles. This topic has 5 articles. As long as you click into one, you can actually browse around for all the different articles. You can click on one and see images and text and next articles and next article and relevant articles that are related to this specific article. Okay, so in a nutshell, that's how you create articles and topics in Reamaze. Now, for the first self-hosted option, if you go to settings, you can actually go to brands, and then you'll notice that each brand has a help site, and whether or not it's live is indicated by this right here. So right now, this demo site's FAQ is live at this URL. You can disable it if you want. If you click on see all settings, you can actually change the custom domain. You can change the appearance. You can customize the text. You can change the header and footer. You can install custom analytics and also advanced settings for your help site. So for example, for custom domain, you can come in here. We'll give you instructions on how to change it over to your own domain. If you go over to appearance settings, we have a bunch of options here for you to customize. And if you want to get really fancy, click on custom header and footer, where you can add custom HTML, custom CSS, and meta tags to make your FAQ truly yours. And for custom analytics, you can install Google Analytics for this. And text customization gives you access to a lot of options here. So for the help site section, you can change the headline, the search prompt, matched articles, matched discussions, FAQ header, FAQ message, uncategorized topic name. So all of this can be customized. Now keep in mind that text customization actually gives you access to a lot of other options to customize, such as your embeddables, such as your hub apps. All of these things are found here, and we'll cover this in a little bit more detail in the last part of this demonstration series. So we're going to go back to brand settings. So that's how you get your FAQ on its own domain. The second way of showing off your FAQ is the embedded inline method. So if we take a look at the demo store here, and go back to the home page, if I click on FAQ, you'll see that a modal loads kind of in line to the rest of the website's content, right? So this is the same FAQ, but it's loaded in line within a website, right? So you can actually do this yourself if you want to. If you can go to reamaze.com reamaze.com/developer. And there's an article here about embeddables, and you want to go to the embeddable FAQ. Okay, so for inline embedding, there are some instructions here and installation instructions for you to install the embedded version that way. Right now, you can just do the install. And again, if you're already using Reamaze Chat, you'll have a lot of this installed already. So all you really need is this div wherever you want in your store, in your site content or your website content or your app content. And then there are some specific controls here, such as opening a specific topic or article. So you can have your developers take a look at this as well. So let's go back here. And if we go to website integrations under embeddables, we're going to show you the third way of showing off the Reamaze FAQ. If we take a look at the storefront here again, and we pop open the chat box, and let's go back to the home screen here, you'll see that there is FAQ search for Reamaze Chat. There's also a little question mark that you can click on that will take you to the FAQ. Okay, so right now this chat box is not using the self-service mode. So that means if I go back to the home screen here and I close this and I open it again, it'll show me the home screen instead. There is an option for you to turn on in order to show the FAQ first, right? So this is the third way of showing off the Reamaze FAQ, which is the first level self-service support, right? So customers, when they open the trigger here, the chat box, they're presented with the FAQ so they can search for their own answers. They can browse through different articles and different topics. And if they don't find what they're looking for, that's when they can click on Contact Us and send you a message. Okay. Now to turn on the FAQ search mode for the home screen, right here, you'll have to go back to the embeddable builder. You're going to have to edit the Reamaze chat widget. And on the last screen here, let's go to the last screen, under the Hub Apps section, there is an FAQ search option for the home screen. If you disable it, it will not show the FAQ search. If you enable it, it will show FAQ search. Okay, so that's where you turn this on, and it gives customers a super easy way to access FAQ articles. Now, this one here can be controlled under brands, right? And if you go to FAQ, if you go to see all settings here, and you can enable this help site, okay, and that enables the little question mark icon on your chat widget. And now to turn on the self-service mode, which loads the Reamaze chat box in the kind of the FAQ mode first. What we want to do is go to the menu again, and if we edit this embeddable again, in the first option here, it says get started. I want a chat box showing my chat form. Instead of showing the chat form, go ahead and select FAQ, and you'll see the preview refresh here, and it'll show you the FAQ articles first. And we're just going to go through this quickly again. Like next, until you get to the very end. Make sure everything is saved, and go ahead and publish the changes. Again, if you're on Shopify, one-click publish, otherwise GTM. And lastly, if you have your developers, they can do that manually. So hit done, and let's go ahead and refresh this to see what it looks like. Okay, so now it has refreshed. We're going to click on this. Now, technically, when we click on this, instead of showing the home screen, we're going to see the FAQ mode first. And there you go. So this is the third way of showing the Reamaze FAQ. Now, lastly, once you have all of your FAQ articles and topics built out in Reamaze, you'll be able to do certain things. So let's say if we open up this conversation from Nancy, we should be able to insert FAQ articles on the fly. So if we have, articles like shipping, you can view this article and you can also insert it directly to the customer. Okay. So I believe that covers it for the FAQ. Let's see if there's anything else we've missed. If we go to settings here, I'm trying to think if there's anything else that you guys can do with the FAQ. I believe that's the high-level features for Reamaze FAQ. And if you guys have any questions, make sure to email us at support@reamaze.com or chat with us directly on our homepage. Or if you already have a Reamaze account, go ahead and click on the little question mark to message us here. Okay, and I'll see you guys in the last episode, or the last part of this pre-recorded demonstration. Thanks.